Thank you, Maria. All right, John Ryan's table. Come and find a seat. I want you to choose one that you know will not tempt you to talk to the person next to you, okay? John, or Carl, you can leave the paper at your table. Thank you. All right, Maria's table. Come up and find a seat. Make a good choice about where you're sitting on the carpet. Walking Maria. Girls, I think that you should make a good choice maybe sit on this side now. Cassidy's table. Sison, please make a good choice about who you're sitting next to on the carpet. Job. So I was talking to a few of your teachers, and they said that you're talking about sequence of events. So putting things, main events in the story in order. And you're also talking about Martin Luther King and about Black History Month. Now, can anyone tell me what they know about the Black Rights or Black History Month? Who did you get to talk to that told you a lot about it? Tyson. And what did he tell you about Black History Month? He did. That's pretty cool. Anything else that you can add to what Geraldine was saying? Segregation. Now, mentioning segregation, what is the opposite of segregation? Yes?
Desegregation.
Desegregation. Another word would be integration. Right? Wait, can you show me what a nice third grader looks like sitting on the curtain? Thank you. No, we will be getting called up sooner or later. Alright? So, one thing that we're going to start with. Can anyone tell me what this word is? Oh, I hope that you're not falling out. Let's see. Carl, what does this word mean? It's freedom. What does it mean? Can I call in someone else to maybe help? It means people are free. Can anyone build off of that? Tyson.
Freedom means when people can go through things that they cannot be like a slave or do anything.
Okay, so it means that they get, what I'm getting out of that, tell me if I'm wrong, is that they can do what they please without anyone controlling them.
Yes.
So they're free to do what they want. Right, Annette? Does everyone agree?
Yeah.
Okay, what about this word? Equality. Now, let me see, Cassidy, what does equality mean to you? Say it a little bit louder. They're all even. Does everyone agree with that? That equality means they're all even? What was that? All right. Now, Marcus, can you show me what this third grader looks like sitting on there? Thank you. All right. So equality means even, that everyone has equal rights. Does that sound familiar? All right. Now, can you tell me what this picture has to do with this picture? Does anyone know? Take a guess, maybe. Yes, Charlie. That's a great guess. Marcus. Something like that. I like that. So, from a seed. I like that you're using your reference to your flower book that you just read. All right, so these are two things that throughout this book we're going to find out why I'm saying, why are they alike? All right, let's see. Can you tell me the title? A sweet smell of roses. All right. So let's see how the word freedom relates to red roses. Carl. Eyes up, buddy. Marcus. Focus. After a night of soft rain, there is a sweet smell of roses as my sister Minnie and I slip past Mama's door and out of the house down Charlotte Street. Marcus, can you show me how to sit like a perfect? Past the early morning milkman, over the cobbled bridge, and through the curved market. They're running away. Where do we think they're going?
They smell the road.
Carolyn. That might be something. That's actually going to be a link. Let's keep going to find out. You're running away, slipping away to where everybody waits to march. Minnie and I are only waist high to most of them. Waist high, Minnie and me, waist high, holding hands and waiting to march. Why do you think they're waiting to march? What would they be marching for, Maria? Excellent. Did everyone hear what Maria just said? Can you say that a little bit louder?
Freedom.
They are marching maybe for freedom. Let's keep reading. Marcus. What's up, buddy? There is a sweet smell of roses as everyone waits for Dr. King to speak. And the colors bright light from the sun on the flowers beside the road as we listen to Dr. King on the megaphone say, "We are right, Carl. We march for equality and freedom." So those are the two words that we were talking about, right? Equality and freedom. Marcus, I don't want to ask again. Can you take your legs out of your shirt? Carl, facing forward. So, Dr. King is saying, we are right, we march for equality and freedom. Then we start to march, Minnie and me, we look ahead and walk faster like him. What do you think the sisters are feeling right now? What do you think the sisters are feeling? I'm looking for a raised hand. John. You think they're feeling lost, maybe? Sison? So you think they're feeling tired because they have to walk. Marie? Say it a little louder. When it comes back to you, please. Yes. They might be feeling scared, maybe a little intimidated, right? Because this is a huge crowd and they're so little. Carl, focus. Can you show me how to sit? I would look at Ashley. There is a sweet smell of roses even as we march past the people who scream, shout, and say, "You are not right. Equality can't be yours." Now, does this part remind you of a story you've read before?
Yeah.
Oh, see, say it out loud if it reminds you. Ruby Bridges, huh? I remember that you talked about the feelings that she was experiencing, so maybe the two girls are feeling the same way. Sison, if I'm talking, you should. Then we look farther down the road and keep holding hands, feeling a part of it all, walking our way towards freedom. Now, is this coming together? Maybe they're walking toward freedom. Marcus? There's a sweet smell of roses as more people start marching with us, pouring out of the side streets, clapping and singing. Carl? Freedom, freedom! Then someone picks me up and puts me on his shoulder. Somebody picks Minnie up too, and we are high above everybody, still marching. Carl, what are they marching for? Excellent. Marcus, who is this person right over here? It's a policeman. So maybe that means that this is not the nicest situation to be in. There's a sweet smell of roses as we all gather in the center of town, all together, all here, listening to Dr. King as the sun gets higher in the sky. Maybe. And that's a connection that you're making to Ruby Bridges, right? Because that's what Ruby did. He talks about peace, love, nonviolence, and change for everybody. And the sun gets higher in the sky. When it's time to go, we skip back hand in hand, Minnie and me, singing freedom songs along the streets. What was the cover? Oh, that's very good observation. Marcus, why do you think that his leg is cut off there? His house got robbed?
Bombed.
Oh, maybe his house got bombed. Geraldine?
And her teddy bear has a
That's great noticing. Maybe that has something to do with her carrying freedom. Maybe. So the reason why maybe he doesn't have a leg is during this time there were a few thank you sites and there were wars going on. So this might have that too, but I'm thinking more along the lines of a war. Maybe he was in battle. Carolyn, wait for me to finish my statement and then I'll ask for questions, okay? So maybe he was in battle and maybe he was on the front lines and might have lost his leg while he was fighting for his country, right? Maybe. Does that help, Marcus? Through the curb market, over the cobbled bridge, and past the mailman, Carl, to our house on Charlotte Street. Then there is Mama, worried face waiting there for us. She smiles after a while, hugging us, takes our hands, and as we tell her about the march, the curtains float apart. What do you think she's going to say?
Roses.
And there's a sweet smell of roses all through our house.
I don't like the thing.
So, how do you think the word freedom and roses are alike now that we've read the book? Hasman, do you have an idea? The whole book they were talking about, they smell the sweet smell of roses, but have you ever heard someone say, oh, the sweet smell of freedom? So maybe the whole time they're going out and they're smelling these roses, but they're really also smelling freedom, right? Maybe that's something that the march represents for them. Charlie, you have a question? Do you have something to add? Okay. All right, so now, because we're going to go over to our diagram over here. So now we're going to work on our sequence of events. So what was the first event that happened? These are our main events. Take a look first. Think about what the first event is that happened. Ashlyn. They smelled roses. That's something that we could do, right? That's something that maybe they did. Why don't we look through our main events first? The sisters march past the people who say, you are not right. Equality can't be yours. Crisscross. Marcus and Carl, I hope that your eyes are up here. What does this say here, Carl? The megaphone. Good. Good. So that's another one of our main events. Cassidy, can you read this one? Okay, so these are things to think about. What about up here? Use your very good voice. Non-violence. Good. Sison?
The sisters skip home singing freedom songs.
Good. Marcus?
The sisters run.
Good. And let's see, Annette.
Mom is waiting to ignore days. The sisters can tell
Good. All right, so we're going to try and put these events in order because these are some of the main events of our story. Annette, what happened first? Awesome. Come on up and put that on our first block.
But the people should be
That wasn't one of our main events. That might have been a supporting event that they smelled the roses. Let's see. Maria, what came next? Excellent. Come on up and put that on our second square. Let's see. John Ryan, what came next? Ooh, I like it, Carl. The freedom songs? Well, let's think about that. So the sisters slipped past Mama's door and out of the house. The sisters ran to the march. Ooh. John Ryan, what did they hear Dr. King say after that? He said, "We are right. We march for..." Come on up. Marcus, sit down, buddy. If you are sitting correctly, those are the ones that I'm looking for to call on. John, Carl, you should be sitting nicely. Great. So we have the sisters slip past Mama's door and out of the house. The sisters run to the march. Dr. King says on the megaphone, "We are right. We march for equality and freedom." Let's see. Marcus, what happened next? Think about Ruby Bridges. Which one? Read it to me.
There's Google Pass.
Quality. Good. Come on up and put that on our next square. All right. While he's doing that, think about what comes next. Carl, you should be sitting. Thank you for sitting. Let's see. Cassidy. Excellent. Come on up here and put it on our next square. Excellent. What came next? Awesome. Put it on our next square. So let's recap. The sisters slip past Mama's door and out of the house. The sisters run to the march. Dr. King says on the megaphone, "We are right. We march for equality and freedom." The sisters march past the people who say, "You are not right. Equality can't be yours." They all gather in the town center to listen to Dr. King speak about peace, nonviolence, and change for everybody. The sisters skip home singing freedom songs and Hesman. What came next? Excellent. So come on up and put it on our list. Excellent job. So these were some of the main events that we saw in the story. Now, thinking about that, Marcus, sit like a third grader. We need to think about the most important event. Now, I want you to talk with the person next to you about what the most important event in the story was and why. So, let's see, Maria Sison, parent talk. What was the most important event? Cass Smith and Geraldine, parent talk. What was the most important event? Parent talk. What was the most important event? Marcus and Carl, what was the most important event and why? Use the board as a reference. And next, are you having a talk here? What was the most important event?
It doesn't even say that in the story.
And why?
Because
What do you think, Sison? Because he was talking about equality and stuff, so because they want you to, I think these are two great ideas. So when you go back to your seats, you're going to write down your ideas. Excellent. That's great. So maybe that is that important event could have led to those things, right? All right, I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. I want to see everyone sitting nicely, eyes up here. Eyes and ears. Let's see. All right, I heard a lot of good conversations. Now, what did you think the most important event was? Excellent. What do you guys think? What did your group come up with? Never give up? Which event was that? If you needed help, you could look up here, Marcus. What event do you think, Carl? Carl and Marcus. The megaphone? Equality. And that's a great one. When we go back to our tables, I want you to write down the most important event, what you thought the most important event was, and tell me why. All right? What was that? Sentence starter? Your sentence starter is?
The most important idea is I know it because
Thanks.
the most important I just said.
All right, I'm going to wait. The most important event was, and then you list your most important event. Carl? Can you show me to sit like a third grader? Thank you. The most important event was, I know this because. All right, does anyone have any questions? All right, I'm looking for those who did a wonderful job today. Let me see. Geraldine? Go ahead. Maria, nice job. Annette?